This is the time when most of us are confused, are in a state of panic because we have only 100 days now to prepare. These chapters require some time, but definitely they are high weightage chapters. In organic chemistry, try to do just before the exam because many things are there which you have to learn as facts. It will save your time. 30 questions approximately will come from inorganic and organic. So try to save your time here. Analyzing is very important. It will help you find the weak areas and then you can work on your weak areas. Hello future doctors, this is Saket Suman from PW Chennai Vidyapeeth. So today we'll be discussing what should be our last 100 days strategy. Okay, so I'll help you frame your own strategy so that it suits you the best. This is the time when most of us are confused, are in a state of panic because we have only 100 days now to prepare, right? So sometimes we lose our energy, our enthusiasm, and we tend to make mistakes and we get distracted. So this is the time where we have to channelize all our energy to perfect this exam, correct? So today we are going to see what all things we can do in this 100 days, right? So one very famous quote you must have heard, that if you sweat in peace, you don't bleed in war. So this 100 days, make sure you give your 200% to this exam. Okay, so how to do that? Let us try to understand. Okay, so the very first thing is we have to see what all chapters are very important from exam point of view. See, we have total of 75 to 80 chapters, right, in physics, chemistry, botany and zoology combined. But not all the chapters have equal weightage, right? Some chapters are very, very important. So we have to first prioritize those chapters. Okay, so the first strategy will be choosing those topics from every subject which you find comfortable and which are also highly scoring. Okay, so first we will be also doing that only. So in physics we will find units and measurements. This is a very small topic and 1 or 2 questions definitely will come from here. So it will be like 4 marks are free, right? Not you won't have to invest much time, but it will be highly scoring for you. Then laws of motion, work, power, energy. Here also you will find questions are mainly formula based, right? So you can easily do it. Then if you have time, you can go for gravitation, center of mass and rotation. Okay, so prioritize them after you have covered units and measurements, laws of motion and work, power, energy. Okay, so work on the formula sheets, make short notes. Okay, for every chapter make short notes, write all the formulas which are going to be used in sums, and for that chapter for every chapter you should do in physics. Okay, so after that come to thermodynamics and oscillations. These are also not very lengthy chapters, formula based only, so you can easily work on these 3 chapters. After that in 12th come to current electricity. Current electricity is very easy and interesting chapter, right? Then alternating current and semiconductors. Here you can take modern physics also. Okay, so these chapters you will find that they take less time to prepare and they give you more marks also. The chances of making such questions incorrect is also less. And then after you can go for electrostats, magnetism, optics, right? So these chapters require some time, but definitely they are high weightage chapters. So please try to do as much questions as you can. Whatever practice papers you have or modules or NCERT exemplar questions, please do all of them. If possible, try to have previous year question papers for all the subjects and diligently do previous year NEET questions first. And if you have time, also go for previous year JEE main, because recent years in NEET 2025 we have seen the level of questions were really good. Some of the questions were repeated from JEE concepts. So make sure you are attempting previous year JEE main questions as well, because that will give you in-depth understanding of the concept, and it will help you refine and strengthen your concepts as well. Okay, so moving on, let us now see chemistry, what all chapters are important here. So in chemistry we have mole concept. So this is the most fundamental chapter. Me myself, coming from chemistry background, I can tell you, without mole concept you cannot understand any other chapter of physical chemistry, right? It is like the pedestal where physical chemistry is built, right? So mole concept is very important, and very less number of formulas are there, you can easily cover it. Then comes atomic structure, a very easy chapter, है ना, where you can just make a formula sheet and straight formula based questions come. So make sure that you are doing it. Then comes solutions and kinetics. These are also easy chapters of physical chemistry. Formula based questions generally come. So for every chapter you have to maintain a formula sheet. When you are attempting questions, the formula sheet should be with you, because when we do 10 questions with a single formula, the formula then runs in your blood. You don't have to remember it, right? You, even if you try, you won't be able to forget, right? Then comes redox reactions, a easy chapter, but it is a very important chapter, because without that you cannot understand electrostats, right? Electrochemistry. And electrochemistry is an important chapter. There are 3 segments here. Galvanic cell, where Nernst equation comes, most of the question comes from Nernst equation. Then comes to electrolytic cell, there also you have Faraday's laws. And then come to electrolytic conductor, there also we'll have formulas for calculating resistance, conductance, conductivity, molar conductivity, equivalent conductivity, and then Kohl-Rosch law. So all of that are there. So it's also not a very difficult chapter. If you practice questions, you will be able to ace this chapter as well. Then come to chemical bonding. It is very, very important. Again, chemical bonding becomes the most basic chapter, without which you cannot understand GOC, without which you cannot understand coordination compounds. Okay, so very, very important. Chemical bonding and coordination compound, try to do them together. Okay, then you go for equilibrium. Equilibrium also do first chemical equilibrium, because chemical equilibrium mainly revolves around finding Kc and Kp, finding out degree of dissociation. So that is also very easy. If you practice questions on that, you will find it easy. And then come to ionic equilibrium. Ionic equilibrium also, there are different segments. pH calculation of strong acids, strong base, first do that, easy part. Then come to buffer, then come to salts, and then you can come to weak acid and weak base part. So there are also different segments in ionic equilibrium. Try to break every chapter into segments, so that you can organized way you can prepare it. Okay, then come to inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry, try to do just before the exam, because many things are there which you have to learn as facts. Okay, there are some rules, and then there are some exceptions to those rules. So just before exams, if you do it, it will be fresh in your memory. So I would recommend inorganic chemistry, last 10 days dedicate it to inorganic chemistry. So inorganic chemistry, start with periodic table, then you can do P block and DNF block. Okay, first do periodic table, P block and DNF block. You will find many things, many applications you will see from the rules which we will be learning from periodic table only. Okay, after you are done with physical and inorganic, then come to organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, the prerequisite is chemical bonding. Without chemical bonding, you cannot master organic. So first you have to do GOC. What is general organic chemistry? Here I am combining nomenclature, isomerism, as well as electron displacement effect and its applications. All 3 segments will be there. Okay, reaction mechanisms, all the basic mechanisms, right? Acid base reaction, then in addition reaction, electrophilic, free radical addition, and then we have nucleophilic addition. Then in substitution reaction, we have nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophilic substitution further divides into SN1, SN2, SNI, AR SN2, AR SN1, SN1 prime, SN2 prime, SNNGP. Okay, all of that you have to revise. Okay, as an EA and as an AE also are there. And after that come to electrophilic substitution, which takes place in benzene and benzene substituted compounds, and then come to free radical substitution, which happens in alkanes, right? After that you come to substitution reactions. You have done, now come to elimination reactions. Elimination reaction, basically you have to focus on beta elimination, E1, E2 and E1CP. Okay, so reaction mechanisms has to be done right, because it will give you a proper understanding of the reactions. And this reaction mechanisms you will find in every chapter. Okay, in hydrocarbons you will find alkenes mainly give, you know, electrophilic addition reaction. So main reaction of that, benzene and benzene substituted compounds, they give electrophilic substitution reaction. So if you master reaction mechanisms, all the other chapters you will find are easy to crack. Okay, so try to make a reagent list for every chapter, and try to write the reagent and what is the function of that reagent. Sometimes in NEET they will ask you series type of questions where you have to know the function of each reagent. So there it is very, very important. Okay, so do hydrocarbons, alkyl halides, after that alcohol, phenol ether, carbonyl compounds, carboxylic acid and biomolecules. You have to do organic chemistry entirely, because you know organic and inorganic you don't have any numerical questions. You know, if you know the concept, it will hardly take, you know, 30 seconds to solve the question. So it will save your time. 30 questions approximately will come from inorganic and organic. So try to save your time here so that you can invest more time in physical chemistry and physics. Okay, that will eventually take more time of yours in the exam. So time management is also an important aspect of giving the exam. That's why, you know, attempting a lot of mock tests before the exam is important. We'll be coming to mock tests as well. Okay, botany, important chapters will be taking plant physiology, genetics, ecology, then molecular biology, and morphology of flowering plants. All these are, you know, scoring chapters and very, very important from exam point of view. Correct. Zoology also similarly, animal kingdom, human physiology, human reproduction, biotechnology, principles and applications, human health and diseases. All these chapters are quite important. Okay, so these are the important chapters which you have to master, right? 100 days are enough to, you know, tackle them. How you can do that? You can watch lectures from PW, and a lot of pre-lectures are available on YouTube as well. Go for one-shot videos and then start attempting questions on that. How will you attempt questions? Buy a previous year question book for yourself. Chapter wise and topic wise questions will be there. So there, you will be able to map your understanding with the questions, right? Now let us discuss how to attempt questions. Okay, how to revise theory and all. So for revision of theory, I told you, watch one-shot videos right now. You have not much time left. So do one-shot videos first for every chapter, and then after come to previous year questions. Previous year questions also do it topic wise. Okay, whenever you get stuck at any question, see the solutions, or you can ask your teacher as well, right? So after you have built your concepts, try to write your learnings. If you don't, if you could not do the question or you had to ask the teacher, write the learnings in the question itself, right? Because those learnings are important. Okay, 25% only we learn from the lecture, and rest 75% comes from questions. Every question has something to teach you. Always remember it. Okay, so you have to note down the learnings in your memory. Okay, so PYQ attempting is the most crucial aspect of preparation. Okay, right now you have to attempt PYQs. First finish off NEET PYQs. If time is there with you, attempt JEE Main PYQs also. JEE Main PYQs will take more time, so invest little more time in there, but it will refine your concepts and it will, give you some important lessons as well. Okay, it will strengthen your concepts. correct? Attempt tests. After you have prepared for the chapters, now start attempting test. Okay, in whichever institute you are going, try to give mock tests very diligently. And once you come back home, take some rest. Then in the evening, you can go for analysis of the paper. See what questions you were able to do, what questions you were not able to do in the exam, what was the reason why you could not do, where you were not aware of the concept behind it, or because of time, constraints you could not do, or you did a silly mistake in that. So analyzing is very important. It will help you find the weak areas, and then you can work on your weak areas. Every chapter, sometimes what happens, we find 2-3 topics in a chapter difficult, and we label it in our mind that this entire chapter is difficult, I will not touch it. So don't do that. You have to do micro analysis. In this chapter, what all topics I don't know, just hammer it out. Hammer your weak areas. This 100 days, this is what you have to do. You have to give tests so that you can identify your weak areas and hammer it. Okay. Then what you will do, after you have identified weak areas, you will be practicing lot of questions on that. Okay, you will be taking the help of your teachers, and when you will do n number of questions, definitely the things will be very clear to you. Okay, and then again start doing full length test papers. Okay, try to analyze, try to make exam strategies. Some students are very good at bio, so do bio first, then come to chemistry, then come to physics. If you find physics more comfortable, you can do physics, then chemistry. Some students have a habit of doing physics first, chemistry, and then botany, zoology, thinking that they are good at botany, zoology, so they can finish it off in lesser time also. So whatever strategies work for you, try to experiment in the mock tests, so that you yourself understand this strategy is working best for me, and I try to do that in the main exam. Okay, don't take much stress on the exam day. Exam will be any another full length mock test. With that mindset, go with a very free mind, try to attempt the test, enjoy giving the paper, and do your best. All the best, future doctors. I will be glad to see you all in the next session. Thank you, everyone.